It's welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. I'm down here on a southern river. Horrendous wind. I was supposed to go boat fishing down in South Devon. That's blown off about 2 days. Where can I go? Come on this southern river, which I haven't fished for God knows how many years. It's nothing like it used to fish when I was a kid in the 60s. Doesn't even look the same. I don't even know some of the swims. This one I do know, obviously because of these pipes here. So I've been here for I've been here for an hour and a half. I've been feeding here with a swim feeder and 8mm pellets. Nothing, but I'm not getting any bites. And I thought, there's another gentleman just up there, he's just packed up. I don't think he had anything. So I'm walking around, I thought, because I get bored so quick, you know, I get really bored and I'm not sure I'm in the right swim and all that. Polo eyes on. It's a shocking day. It must be blowing 30 knots today, they gave, so I'm tucked on this bank. Anyway, here I am walking away up there. I thought, what if there's anything under that bush there? There's a load of litter there, but if there's anything in a bush, there's some big chub, and I saw a big bream there. So I'm leaving my stuff packed up here. I'm just going to walk up there with a bucket like I used to fish as a kid here, youngster, 14 years old. Used to have cheese. I haven't got any cheese. I've got a bit of stale bread. I'm going to give it a go and see if I can't hook you guys a fish. Not you guys, me guys. I'm just taking my little bucket here, bit of corn, bit of old soppy bread, French loaf there, sweet corn, few pellets. I dare say, look, if I get up here, the fish will probably have moved. I did see a salmon down in that swim, but goodness me, I feel like looking at some of my old pictures. Here was water years ago, okay? This was water. We'd be catching barbel about here. One famous swim over there, famous swim here, obviously called the pipe bridge swim, about here, so that's about the right place. Now it's just loads and loads of weed. Obviously the bank's been collapsing and collapsing. That fish there, by the way, is probably a small sea trout turning over. Nobody all the way up. I'm not surprised with this wind. It's what it used to be, gravel. Gravel used to be all the way. There was never all this stream of weed like this. There was a single sea trout there, about ½ a pound, just laying there. But it's up here I wandered. I thought I'd just have a look, wind all my gear and just see if there's another hole I could drop the feeder in, but I can't see anything because of the ripple there. With it up here, I thought I was a piece of gravel there by that bush. Whoopsie, hat's blown off. It's so fierce today. Look at it up there. Just hope there's no rain. It's the leftovers of a tropical storm, and I wasn't even sure the fish would bite, to be honest. And I just thought I'll poke around here, look in here, look in here, look in here. Load of litter there. That's a sort of spot you find a chub. I just think, is that a shape out there? I just move forward to get the light right and think, hey boys, there's some decent chub there. I'm going to have to sneak in very, very casually here. I'm telling you people, there are some very, very big chub in there. I think these are over 5 pounds. They could spook immediately. To try and squeeze the water out this bread. I'm sure they've fished for. I'm sure they're very spooky. It's worth a throw. Now I can't see them, of course. Oh, I see one there. Big piece of bread flake going down under the bush. Big chub coming up, big chub coming up. I've got him. I've got him on. I've got him on. Oh my God. Oh my God, he sucked that half a loaf up and put it there. Please just let me get one fish out of this. It was so nice to start the day with a decent fish. He's driving and driving. Oh, he's driving. He's going to get in that lily. In lilies? Lilies? What are you talking about, Graham? Holy smoly, that's a big chub. I'm going for this first time. Could be booty time, people. Oh, he's in me. He's got me in there. Please come out. Please just give me one break. Just give me a break. Oh, it's an absolute chunk. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh boy. Look at that thing. Wackadoo. I knew he was over £5. £5, 10 ounces. Holy schmoly, that's a big one. It looks bigger. It looks like 6 to me. £5, 10 ounces of Hampshire Avon chub, and I was lucky I just happened to watch that other guy move. I don't even think he knew those fish were there. Thank God I bought a piece of bread. Let's put him back and let him recover. Wow. That, people, is what I call a serious result. Wow, what a good job. It's weird, isn't it? I'm fishing up here for an hour and a half. Well, I think it's a good swim. And it probably is a good swim in the evening for barbel, but I get bored all day. Just as soon as I catch a chub, I'm well the other side of £5. This is a beauty. Look at that. Just look at that one. Is he all over the camera? Wow. Result. Right, back at the swim, guys. It's one of these little short, shallow swims. Hold some fish, you hook one, it spooks all the others, boom, they're gone. But it's always worth visiting again later. And if I see a black shape go across there, there is a chub in there. There is still a smaller chub in there. This is what annoys me, all this litter left by anglers. What is that all about? There's one chub there. I'm going to tell you, all anglers, I saw one. Oh, look at this blood blister I got, lovely. There is one there that is way bigger. And look, just take it home. I will move that, don't worry. There's a good patch over there, there might be chub. It's a sort of spot you don't normally get barbel, but you can get chub. I think there is a chub over there, but it needs a link ledger. It's just going to creep back here. Look at it, it's like a bomb sight. That was so lucky getting that fish. And even luckier shutting my hand in the tripod thing in a rush to get the photo and get a nice big blood blister. What you're supposed to do is push a needle in that and burst it to get the blood out, but I don't think so. There is one more chub in there. Oh my word, there's an animal chub here. He doesn't want the bread. I've got to twitch it off. Now I've got to keep my movements to a minimum here. I think what I'm going to do is double shot this and anchor a piece of bread on the bottom and wait for them to come back. That's my gut feeling with chub. If they, oh, that really is painful. And of course you always get a tangle when you don't want it. They obviously like it in front of that overhanging willow there. So I'm figuring I'll put another shot on here and just pin it down to the bottom. Anchored like this, the shot slipped. Just anchor it down and wait for them to come back to it. Ah, he's coming in from out there. Now I don't see them. I want to keep my bait in that dark area, not on the shiny patch there. So, see if it will sit on the bottom, which would be nice if it does. That's 2 shot. Sit, 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 don't bump, don't bump, don't bump. That could be, oh, it's rolling. I might need a 3rd shot. Now I just don't want it rolling under the bush, so I won't be able to see him take it. I'm touch shaded and I've got a line across my fingers as well. I think I'm just going to crouch down here. Now it needs another shot as well, which is really annoying. And I don't see any of them now. As I say, these can be a one swim wonder, but my goodness, what fish to come out of it. It's a shocker of a day for fish spotting, but it's a lovely clear gravel patch there, but the swan can get his neck down there, so I don't want to put too much bait in there. I'm sort of thinking there might be a chub out there. If he is, he's just lying on station. I think it's just worth flicking a piece of bread out there. Even if he turns away, at least I know to come back. Well, the bread's going through. I don't see anything moving at all. That was obviously a piece of weed. The bread's just going around there. Just a piece of weed there. Well, what I am wondering is, should I just have a walk around the other side where I used to chub fish as a kid? Doing just this, but with cheese. That's a lovely little glide just down through there. But it looks like nobody's at home. It's going to be ripply around the other side, but listen, I just stumbled on, come off the weed, I just stumbled on that little hole there. So before I sit down and start feeding a swim that might not have no fish in it, I might just have a little walk around and have a check out on the other side. I think I might do that. By which time, of course, that monster chub, which is even bigger than the last one, might be back in here. I might actually put some ground bait in there. Yes, let's put a couple of balls of ground bait down there. Good thinking, Graham. It's a good job you're here to tell me what to do. I've got to think old school now. Years ago, I'd go around with a bucket of ground bait, put a ball of ground bait and say 6, 8, 10 swims. And by the time you walk back, very often there's a fish has moved in there. We did a lot of roving fishing 40 years ago down here. And unfortunately, it's still ingrained in me. I'm not one just to sit there pounding and pounding away with a feeder. I do it on big rivers like the Wye, because that's where the best of the barbel fishing is. So years ago, all this weed wasn't like this. This was clear. But they say they can't cut the weed because the rivers are so low now. Oh, sunshine, that's what we need. Wow. A sandwich and then a little bit of roving, I feel. Well, this particular stretch up here below the weed used to be chub central, clear gravel patches. Now it's absolutely choked with weed. So I fear I might not be able to even get a bait into anything. There's probably fish under there somewhere, but that is just unfished. I wonder why they don't just cut a nice channel down it for anglers to fish in. A pair of chest waders and a scythe like they used to at Throop. Old Ernie Lee used to cut it all out. Just make channels for the anglers to run some baits through. Makes a huge difference. There's a hole there. That looks a chubby type of hole to me. Just got to get that angle of that light right. Pretty tight. Let's have a look here. Don't know if anybody's at home or not, but we'll give them a piece of bread, run it through. So the French stick I haven't soaked too much, because I've got no real bread with me, in as much as it's hook bait stuff. So this stuff is a one cast wonder. And that's all I've got, but it got me that fish. Let's have a go. Too close. It might come back, it might come back. Let's just try again. But I can't cast it too hard, because it will come off. I don't think that swim's quite long enough. The time the bait's at the right depth, it's gone through. I might try a little bit farther over. I can get this back. I doubt I'll be able to cast much farther with this. In fairness, it's hanging on the bend of the hook. It's a very short swim. Weed, straight on the weed. No, let's move on. Pretty sure I saw a chub shoot through there. But again, it's a very short area. The current's whizzing through a bit quick. No, that's not going to work, Graeme. There's a gap there, maybe over by those willows. Well, I'm in between. I'm going to move slowly. These two willows. There's a nice run off there. I think I see a chub. Just in front of that end of that weed really there. The trouble is, I don't know how I'm going to see him take, because it doesn't look it with this camera lens, but I'm pretty much on top of him. Yeah, I reckon he's going to be very spooky. Once I move it, too late, committed. Krusty's going down, 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 and is he looking at it? I think I spooked. No, I'm going to hold it there. Oh, Jesus. I don't even know if he had it or not, in fairness. I really don't. I could have spooked him totally. That's annoying. Annoying to say the least. I had a bit of a chance there. I'll try one more. I'd expect to see them over in that channel, but there's nothing there. If I go any higher, anything's going to see me. 99% sure that was a chub there. He's probably under that weed mat. It's so annoying when you get in a fishy spot and you think, are they fishing there or they're not? Oh yeah. I did see a fish then. Man, I'm on top of him. Oh, he spooked away. I've got one. I've got another one. Second fish took. I've got a stake here. I've got a big double. Here we go. Into the cow pads. Oh no, he's going for the stakes. Come out. Oh, he's going for the weed. Whew, how hard it's going. No one as big as that other one. Whew. That was a cool take. Wasn't even the fish I was going for. Just gonna let him play out in the current a little bit there. I'll take a gamble that I'm not going to get him in the weed. I might get him over the top now. Oh please, there he goes, there he goes. They're notorious for digging chub. And they get the... Oh, I think I got him. Beautiful. Oh, what? He's not going to make 5. Most definitely high 4s. What a beauty. Oh, look at the size of that mouth. He's got no trouble with a big piece of bread. That is a big one. That is a big one. How'd you go, my boy? Now, worth remembering that swim. And come back there later. Now, just as a guide here, I know you guys haven't got polarising glasses, but there's a lovely gravel run there. And I think there's fish up there, probably sea trout, but there's definitely fish up there. And that's what we used to have years ago, except it would be half an acre. The bulk of this would be beautiful clear gravel like that with fish over it. So it'd be nice if that run was continued down there, and then you could run a float through and some bait, get amongst the fish. I might actually throw a bait up in there just in case. Pretty sure there's a fish laying there. Doesn't look a dark enough tail for a chub though. This bread is way too soft to get. Up there and try one more. There is a fish there, but I've got a feeling. Oh no, that comes off. I'm on again. Right over that back under those weeds, just saw this. God, there's ambulances everywhere. What is this? A crash site or something? Oh, this is not a bad fish. I've heard more ambulances today. I suppose it's going up and down and main road to the hospital, local hospital. This one is going well. That would be an old swim that we used to fish years ago. And I have to say, it's the old school method. It looks like it's working. I used to use cheese before. It makes me wonder, should I have been using bread? Here he comes. Oh, he's buried in that weed bed. This is where they get in, dig, and then twist the hook into the weed. Here he comes. Roving fishing. You've got to love it. Oh yeah, it's a nice chub. That is a nice rubber dub. Check that one out, guys. £3-ish. That's a lovely looker as well. Oh, what a good job I bought that French loaf with me. What a good job. It's stale, by the way. I was going to use it for ground bait. There he goes. Just down there, you might even be able to see him go across the gravel. I feel it's worth one more cast under that edge there, if I can get the bread out that far. Oh, that could be on the money. Yeah, there's a little bit too much air. Oh no, it's not. Oh, I pricked one. Pricked him. I thought it was too much air, too much crust in it, hadn't soaked enough. So it's too buoyant, it wasn't sinking. Got to get the balance right, because if I have it too wet, it just flies off the hook. If it's too dry, it stays too far up in the water. Okay, setup is Avon rod reel, 5-6 pound line. I'm sort of a river Y outfit. There's quite a bit of paste pushing through here. So I've got my own homemade giant cage feeder there. Big weight so it sinks, but I'm gonna copy like the Y. Oh, I've got one of these little, oh, we never used them years ago. It's called a buffer bead or something like that. You have to have it now. It's all the fashion, all the rage. Use a piece of valve rubber, that's what we used to do, same thing. I've got, look, really 4 feet drop down to a banded pellet. This is how I fish up on the Y. They tell me fish with a long tail or a long drop. Ground bait's a bit of everything in there. Because I work on the principle that on a river it's going to get washed away anyway. All goes downstream. And certainly can always be worth going downstream if you're not getting any fish, and I may well do that and go further downstream. And all these particles of food are going to work all the way down past those swans. And I'm not bothering with the Avon tip, the quiver tip. No point. If there's anything here like a lump of a chub or a barbel, it's definitely going to take the rod round. So it's not going to be a quiver on the tip. Just going to let it drop down right in the main current there. I just want to bump it once. That's just my habit. I like doing that. Bumping it once to make sure that's tight. Now I've got, I'll back the drag off. I'll back the drag off. I've got my buzzer here purely because if I'm filming or looking away or doing something with the camera and the rod goes, at least it gives me a bit of advance warning. And I just put the bait bucket on top of that. Might have to go float fishing down there. Quite like the look of that. But who knows? You've got to be in it to win it. Not the world's best day, but if I could winkle a fish out, I would be happy. It's a long drive, petrol-wise. Right, so I've moved swims, people. I've done my chub. I've had 4 chub now. Bumped a couple other smaller ones off. Another guy's just up. He wanted my swim, I think, but you can have it now. And I've moved down about 30-40 feet. And the pure reason for that is because as I was walking along the bank here, I just saw one flash of a barbel turning on its side. They do this and they show that golden flash. So I know 100% there's a barbel out there. Might be 1 or 2 others. what's happening is it shelves up over there, so the deep part is up here. Now I could have stayed there easily, and probably just before dusk they moved from there and fed up there, but I don't want to stay till the middle of the night, do I? You know, I want to get off reasonably. I've got a long drive, so I'm figuring I might be able to feed this area up. Now I've got the swim feeder, but obviously now it's 1:30. It's not the best time. I haven't had all that bait going in as you would do normally feeding the swim. That's what it's called, a swim feeder, but you can get one of these, which we used to use down there all the time, and that's called a bait dropper. There you go, like it's made out of brass, this particular one. Your hook goes through a slot into a peg at the back, your little cork peg there, and it's got a wire boom here and a lead, so it sinks down like this. I'll show you what it does roughly. You cast it out, it goes down to the riverbed. You can use them in lakes, but generally rivers. It's for concentrating your bait in an area on the bottom. Hits the bottom, the lid opens, and it all comes tumbling out. I think the best thing I can do is to show you. I'll probably almost waste a couple of balls of ground, but just down in here close by, I'm going to put some sweet corn out there and some more pellets and a good old mix of these fine ones, because I don't understand why there's not. I've been throwing stuff in loose, but years ago there would be absolutely swarming, completely swarming with dace, roach, minnows. I don't see, it's nothing, there's just a few dace, that's all I've seen. Might be nice to catch one, but it swings out, it drops and flashes open. And years ago, in that swim up there, 45 years ago, I made a rig up with a sliding swivel from here and actually had a hook here, because when everybody used these bait droppers with maggots mostly. You would drop these down, the flash of that would attract them. They'd know it's feeding time because it's neat maggots. But a lot of the time the fish would be banging and knocking this to get it, you know, inside to get the contents. So I actually made a rig up off there, and I remember catching a chub and I think one barbel doing that method. Let's get this out there. So I've seen the flash back down there in a funnel bit between some weeds, so I want to get the same sort of line. That's just interesting. It's a big dragonfly came up round it. Obviously didn't like the look of all that flashing, so I'm going to swing it out. Don't forget, when this hits the bottom, that is where the bait's going. That one actually, I think, open. You just give it a jerk like this to open the flap, and it puts all the bait in the one area. Maybe even with this wind I can show you one just down here. Nothing on the barbel and the feeder. And the guy came straight into this swim and had another look at it and then walked on. But I can, maybe he didn't see the fish. I've seen a chub there. I figure it's worth a throw. Now I've lost him. Very tricky night. Very tricky night now. Obviously it's going round, it's going to be more slightly in my face. I think I only try the bread again. Yeah, now I've lost him. The thing is, you can either drift a piece of bread through, and indeed anything else, you can drift it through, or you can anchor it on the bottom. And therein lies the question. Now I'm leaving the camera on my head, but I've got to keep the peak on, so I don't know what you're going to get. It might. I'm going to cast. Oh, I think I'm okay. He's dropping back. No, he's spooky. I'm hoping it's just going to lay and sit on the bottom. So I don't like moving it. But I've got to leave the peak on to shut the light down, folks. Okay, folks, I'm on. A barbel came up in here. I had to go for the barbel and I couldn't catch on the bread. He didn't want to know the bread. So I'm on another chub here. He's got me buried right in the weed there. He's going to come out hopefully. I just touched ledge fin, let it go right under the willow, and then boom, the rod went round. I felt it right across my fingers. That's a nice fish. Well, the other guy looked in, he didn't see the fish obviously. Hawkeye pulling did. Come on, well, we haven't got him yet. Try and shorten him up a bit. That was a bonus, but the other fish was a barbel about 6 or 7, I guess. Here we go. See if we can get him in. Come on, babe. Nice job. Oh dear, I don't know what you're getting at this, people. I've got the cap on. Oh, look at this fish. OMG. Hopefully you're seeing this one. What a beauty. Suits you, Mr. Chevin. That is a big one. Really pleased with that one. 5 nice chub, eh? I think I'm pretty well stuffed now. I'm going to keep looking for this case his barbel comes back. You never know if he does. I'm not going to move swims. I'll go back over there, but I think I've had a major result here. There he is. Slip him out. Gone. You know where he's going to go? Yeah, straight back under that tree. Can you blame him? Oh, pike over there. Pike just dropped downstream. Too early for pike fishing though. That's a funny little swim, this one, isn't it? Sort of something or nothing, but the fish obviously coming out of that weed or up under that bush. Well, that seems to be it for the evening, boys. I could stay on till it gets dusk or almost dark here and probably catch a barbel, but I've got a long drive home. The wind's still blowing. I'm getting a little bit chilly now. So very good fishing. Just goes to show you, just adapt, change, move, and just wind your gear in, even if you're on a lake, and just go and have a look around and see if there's somewhere different that, you know, you might find a fish or two, because that's the only reason I got that big chub and those others, was by winding in, moving around, and, you know, basically searching out the fish. They weren't in the spot. Same as I've found the barbel here. They're not feeding at the moment. They will sooner or later, but I can't stay here all night. So thanks for watching the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. Don't forget to watch Mike's TA Outdoors, and we'll see you in the next episode. Of course, I'm going to give it another 10 minutes.